The sound of guns may have faded, and soldiers may have left, but for many communities, the war is not over. Landmines and unexploded ordnance, including cluster bombs, kill thousands of civilians each year, with thousands more maimed. Livelihoods are disrupted, land is abandoned, and daily routines can be life-threatening. The United Nations Mine Action Service, also known as UNMAS, has been working since 1997 to create a world free of landmines and explosive remnants of war.
Mine action is about clearing roads, clearing fields, clearing areas around schools and hospitals. It's about human dignity altogether.
Mine action has 5 main components. The main one that everybody thinks of is clearance, mine clearance. It is victim assistance to allow rehabilitation and reintegration. It is mine risk education to reduce the risk of injuries. It is destroying the stockpiles of landmines, munitions, cluster munitions, so that they don't fall in the wrong hands or they're not used again. And it's about advocacy to make sure that as many countries as possible joined those treaties which ban the use of landmines.
In the aftermath of war, UNMAS and its implementing partners are often the first to arrive.
Peacekeepers cannot be deployed until and unless mine action goes as a first step to clear the area. So it's an absolute necessity, it's an enabler, it's a kind of a key to open the door to bring stability and peace in that region that otherwise is volatile.
After the bombs have stopped, after the conflict is over, all these explosives remain. When we say mines, it's landmines, but it's also UXOs, unexploded ordnance. It's about ammunition, it's about cluster munition, it's about improvised explosive devices. Not only are all these explosives scattered through the country, we also have stockpiles that are not well guarded. They need to be stored in better conditions, and that will be a contribution of UNMAS.
Clearing ordnance and other explosive devices allows people to return to their homes, and aid agencies such as UNICEF, UNDP, and UNHCR to begin their work.
I never thought that one day we would talk about Afghanistan being mine-free, and today we are considering it at hand.
ساحه مین بود و این منطقه که بود یک وحشتناک منطقه بود. ما آمدن نمیتونستیم و یه همینطور بوره مانده بود.
This is immediate impact. Literally as soon as the land is being cleared, it's being handed over to communities and they're using it. And the poorest of the poor are getting benefit from what these deminers are doing here, now on the ground today. Children can play, houses are being built, wells are being dug. It's making an immediate impact.
فایده داره که کسی را اوگار نمیکنه. خوب فایده داره که کسی بره آزاد بگرده، میتونه گشت آزاد که مثلا دمی بغلا جای چی ماین نباشه آزاد.
Every time a road is clear, the transportation and the trade come back. People can go and vote. They can participate in elections. The kids can go back to school. The farmers will farm their land. That's really giving the country the life that will allow it to take off economically. We have cleared the roads in South Sudan. In 2005, the market in Juba had nothing to offer. And today you go to Juba and you can buy your food. That's a success story. We see the impact of our action right away. We see that in Libya, we have cleared up over 200,000 unexploded ordnances and explosive weapons, and we have allowed over 60 schools to be cleared. The kids can go back to school. That's real.
Demining is a painstaking and dangerous process, often undertaken in difficult conditions. Mines only cost a few dollars to make, but hundreds of dollars to remove. Hidden and camouflage to match their surroundings, they can detonate at the slightest touch.
You know, the real heroes in this are the deminers. These are the guys who go out every day and clear thousands of mines, working in hot, dusty conditions, risking their lives and their limbs to make their country a safer place.
In Afghanistan, we have provided 14,000 jobs to Afghan deminers. That's not only for the population to regain its dignity, but for the country to regain an income.
Long after conflict has ended, mines remain a problem. And of course, the insidious impact of those things lasts for years, well after the conflict is over. And in fact, in some cases, more or less when communities have forgotten what even the origin of the conflict was. You've not only got to find them and remove them, that's an obvious first thing, but you've also got to teach people how to protect themselves.
When we go to the communities to teach or carry out mine risk education activities, we really go everywhere we can reach, and we are working with amazing communities who are exposed to mines and explosives.
Yet each day brings new victims. Despite their injuries, they move forward with their lives. UNMAS is dedicated to providing assistance to these survivors. Their courage is a source of inspiration.
But the magnitude is enormous, and we do appeal for all who could contribute, governments, private organizations, even private citizens, to contribute to this extremely important activity of the United Nations dedicated to the service of peace and humanity.
Our colleagues in Mine Action are often the first responders, and they carry out the vital task of clearing the way for peacekeepers and humanitarian workers, and they are prepared to go anywhere, at any time, ordnance expertise is required.
It's a big task, it requires a lot of money, and it requires people with a great deal of skill and courage, frankly, to do that sort of activity. I mean, you can't go past success, and UNMAS is successful.
What we are doing is tangible. What we are doing is saving lives. What we are doing can be seen and measured. And what I'm offering today is for you to come with UNMAS, to support UNMAS, and to take action in saving people's lives.
Our goal of a mine-free world is now a realistic possibility. Yet, there is more to do, much more.